This is KGW News at sunrise.
There was no warning. It was like, you could get your pets and get out. So it was really scary.
That Oregon woman is talking about having to evacuate from Maui as multiple fires continue to burn on the island this morning. We have the latest on the devastation that's already killed at least 36 people.
Also, a railroad company going after homeless campers in Portland who are pitching tents near the tracks. What it's threatening to get them to leave. Plus,
it feels like we're at the turning point of a new age of space travel.
That space pilot is just hours away from taking 3 civilians to the edge of space. We're going to have more on those 3 civilians, how they landed this opportunity of a lifetime, coming up in just a few minutes here on Sunrise.
We are tracking that launch. Got a lot of things going on today. Glad you're here with us. On this Thursday, what are we looking like weather-wise?
Comfortable. Enjoy today because confidence is starting to soar at this point that we will see a number of days consecutively of 100-degree heat next week. Here we are right now. Pretty cool look at the Newport camera. If you look carefully, when I loaded this, you could see the fog just kind of moving in front of the camera lens. Anyway, that's Yaquina Bay in Newport, 52 degrees. Pretty good marine push this morning. All areas here on the west side reporting cloudy skies, including Portland, including Salem. We're at 65 degrees. Afternoon sun is coming, and it will be comfortable out there. 72 at noon. I have our high today at 83 degrees, and some of you may not be that warm. So again, enjoy today. That's your forecast for now.
Okay, thank you, Rod. We begin this morning with breaking news out of Maui. Officials now saying at least 36 people have died in unprecedented wildfires ripping through the island. These are aerials of the fire damage, the thick smoke you can see there. Firefighters continue to battle the flames and are searching for survivors. Now, officials at this point don't know what started the fires or aren't saying, but the National Weather Service is pointing to really dry conditions and high winds.
flames have damaged or destroyed at least 271 homes and businesses. Right now, thousands of people have nowhere to live, with hundreds flocking to emergency shelters. Many more are sleeping in their cars. A Walmart store is open to evacuees so they can use the restrooms. In a news conference overnight, Hawaii's Lieutenant Governor talked about what she's seen.
It looked as if it's just the whole town was devastated, the whole town was decimated.
The Lieutenant Governor is telling tourists not to come to the islands. 1,500 visitors are set to fly out today. 11,000 flew out yesterday.
The Maui wildfires are impacting a lot of people here in Oregon and Southwest Washington as well. People with ties to Hawaii. We talked to some of those people from the islands who live here now. They told us they've been reaching out to friends and loved ones as they watch the destruction from thousands of miles away.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sad and just not knowing because we're so far away.
We also spoke to a woman who landed in PDX last night. She was already scheduled to fly back yesterday, but she says the fires sped up her trip to the airport. And this isn't the first time she says she's had to evacuate from a fire. She also had to run from the Beachy Creek fire here in Oregon back in 2020. But she says this evacuation from Hawaii was different.
People couldn't find a place to use the restroom. There was hotels pushing people away, saying no public restrooms. It was like a nightmare. It was crazy.
Local efforts are already underway to help the people who both live and work there on Maui. In fact, if you want to help out, there's an easy way to do so. You can just text the word FIRE to 503-226-5088. We'll text you back with a link to a donation site at kgw.com.
We now know the name of the 38-year-old mother in Scappoose who lost her life in a house fire early Sunday morning. This is all that's left of the home on Northwest St. Helens Road. Shuri Hallmeyer died here, and so did her 9-year-old daughter and 6-year-old son. 2 pets also died in the fire. Investigators have ruled the fire accidental, but they're not releasing the exact cause yet. The children went to Grant Watts Elementary, and tomorrow the school will have grief counselors available for students and for staff. The family is survived by a 14-year-old daughter who wasn't home at the time of the fire.
And a big development in a story we've been investigating for months. Multnomah County is threatening to fine its only ambulance provider over performance issues. A KGW investigation found that for months, AMR ambulance crews were slow to respond to 1 out of every 3 emergency calls in Multnomah County, taking longer than 8 minutes to get there. Yesterday, Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson announced the fines will start next month if things don't improve. AMR blames staffing shortages and the county's 2 paramedic requirement. The county says AMR is not complying with its contract.
Oregon Governor Tina Kotek just announced a new task force aimed at improving Portland's economic future. So Kotek's office will partner with the Oregon Business Council as well as community members, elected leaders, and business owners for this task force. They're going to focus on issues like crime, vandalism, homelessness, even taxes, all things that have impacted the city's economy, especially since the pandemic. The task force's first meeting will be on August 22nd, and they say they plan to meet once a month.
Some homeless campers in Portland are facing a different kind of eviction notice. They've been living near railroad tracks in southeast Portland, and the rail company wants them out, saying it's not safe. Officers from the Union Pacific Police Department handed out the eviction notices yesterday. They require campers to move their tents and belongings. If they don't leave, they could face criminal trespassing charges. We talked to people living there to find out why they picked this spot despite the noise.
I respect the freight lines, I don't, do anything to disrupt them. They don't mess with me. And this is the only spot where we're kind of exempt from being messed with by rapid response.
The guys are on one side and I'm the girl on this side. And for that, we try to keep the track clean.
Turns out this site is close to Portland's first city-sanctioned homeless camp. But campers need a referral to get a spot. They can't just show up and ask to get in.
A new drug treatment clinic in Vancouver is expected to open in about 2 weeks. The building used to be an old Elmer's restaurant. Now it's the North Star Clinic. It's an opioid addiction treatment center. The outpatient clinic provides medications for people suffering from addiction. Transforming the Elmer's into a clinic made sense to the CEO of Columbia River Mental Health Services. He said the building, located at Northeast 40th Street off Anderson, had good bones. It only took a year to renovate the Elmer's.
We were really intentional about choosing aesthetic that, again, elevates that perception of care. But we'll match that with our staff, who are obviously very, very qualified and very passionate and care about our patients and the care that they deliver.
The clinic is expected to help over 1,000 people a year.
1 week from tomorrow, the city of Portland will close the SmartPark garage in downtown Portland at Southwest 3rd and Alder. It's really a sign of the times as fewer people are visiting downtown. Officials say, simply put, not enough people are parking in that SmartPark garage. They're calling it a temporary closure, although there's also no word yet on when it will reopen. So here's a little perspective for you. Back in 2019, that garage was about 90% full during peak hours. These days, that number is closer to 30%.
The Providence Bridge Pedal is this weekend, and that means bridge closures starting at 6 o'clock Saturday night. 1 eastbound and 1 westbound lane of the Hawthorne Bridge will close. An eastbound lane will also close early Sunday morning. All lanes will reopen at 2:30 Sunday afternoon. Drivers can also expect lane closures Sunday on the Morrison and Selwood bridges.
Okay, yeah, we have that bridge pedal. We also have the naked bike ride that a lot of Portlanders know about. That's this weekend too, FYI, just so you know.
You say we.
Oh. You know, Portlanders in Portland. You know what I mean. What's the weather going to be like if they're out?
Yeah, it's all going to be sunny.
Yeah, okay.
We have the Perseid meteor showers, Saturday night into Sunday.
Oh, that's right. That's going to be awesome.
Clear skies. All that's good. It will be heating up. Saturday could be day 1 of 90. It's not out of the question that Sunday hits 100. It potentially could be day 1 of the hot weather. I want to start real quick with Hawaii, then I'll bounce back to our local weather. So if you have friends on the island, the news is good in terms of the weather. This is Dora. It's a powerful Category 4 hurricane, 140-mile-per-hour sustained winds. But Dora passed here when the winds kicked up, and now it's moving out, and the forecast is back to typical trade winds today, 15 to 25 miles per hour. So that's good news there. We included in our story moments ago that Maui in particular has been drier than normal. Now, taken as a whole, most of the Hawaiian Islands are actually showing above normal precipitation, including most of the Big Island. But Maui, which is the island right here, there's the airport, the fire zone has been right in here in terms of the worst of it that's been catching the news headlines. But where you see the darker brown, that is severe drought. But here's the deal. Instead of having like 10 inches of rain since January 1, they've had 9.2 inches of rain. So the eyeball test would say that's still pretty close to normal, right? It is summer though, with, you know, some warm temperatures. I'm sure there's been plenty of dry grass, and it was an east wind that blew these fires from upper elevations down to the west shoreline of Maui. I mentioned, though, the wind forecast is good today. Certainly not extreme, more like 15 to 25 mile per hour trade winds. All right, now to our heat wave coming. Monday, 100, Tuesday, 103, Wednesday, 104, Thursday potentially could still be 100. And Sunday potentially could get to 100. So if we make it 5 100-degree days, that's getting in uncharted territory in terms of consecutive days of triple-digit heat. We're cloudy this morning. We have a solid marine deck, coast and valley. We're 65. Seen some fog in Newport, probably some misty spots at the beach this morning, but otherwise it's got a completely dry forecast. No storm chances, sunshine out east. Salem 64, good morning to you. 59 up in Kelso. Forecast numbers for our Thursday. Low to mid-80s in Corvallis, 84 there. Again, morning clouds, afternoon sun, northwest winds 5 to 15. Maybe not 80 in Battleground, 83 in Vancouver and Portland, 87 Friday, 90 Saturday, 97, maybe 100 on Sunday, 100, 103, 104, maybe 100 on that following Thursday. That's your forecast.
Oh, Rod, my heart. Okay, thank you.